a million more cameras than, say, here in Australia at our airport here in Melbourne. I'm always looking at stuff like that. Just want to see how it's ramped up. I have been there before.
Surprised they let you back in then. They don't
Those cameras didn't work well.
Welcome back once more to the Gunners Club. Hey?
Here we are again.
Alan, Katie,
Hi.
welcome back.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Kind
Come
of
down now.
bit more of a serious topic this one.
More serious, is it?
A bit more serious. Yeah. You went OS
Yeah.
just recently.
Not MIA, just OS.
You went to China. It was just a social occasion.
Yep.
You know, just for a short period of time. But I am curious. I have never been to China. I've read a lot. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos from people discussing things about China and how stuff happens. Also, as of recently, because of different things that are happening with the building industry collapsing and stuff like that, people are unhappy and losing money and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
But, I mean, that's not what I want to get into. I'm more interested in the day-to-day life compared to what we're led to believe here in the West. We're told that, you know, you're constantly being monitored, you're constantly being watched, you got to, don't talk about that, you got to watch what you're saying and more importantly, who you say it to, because you don't know who's working for Big Brother.
That's right, yep.
So
Did you get any sense of that when you were there? I know it was only a brief visit, so you didn't immerse yourself into it. But for the short time that you were there, did you get any impression that that shit was all true?
Yes and no. Like I mean, starting out, you go to the airport, there's a million more cameras than, say, here in Australia at our airport here in Melbourne. And I do look up at these things. Majority of people just look down or they're on their phone while they're walking out.
Yep.
But I'm always looking at stuff like that. Just want to see how it's ramped up. I have been there before. I know.
Surprised they let you back in then. They don't
Those cameras didn't work well.
It depends if you've shaved or not shaved.
It has ramped up. The biometrical scanning of your faces is just everywhere. It's just off its head. There's a guy walking near us. And the computer voice, recorded.
Like AI.
Yeah, it must have been. But they have all these, it's just like Siri saying stuff. But, it was a human saying it, but just pre-recorded. Just remove your hat. And then he didn't do it. So the next camera, remove your hat. And then I said, hey, mate, I think it's talking to you. Remove your hat. And he goes, yeah. Moved his hat. And didn't say it anymore. So it was meant for him. And the guy in front of him...
what? Was he wearing a bike helmet or something, or what?
No, just a normal baseball cap. Yeah.
And the robot voice got angry.
Well, no, it didn't angry. It paused. It was a slight pause. Remove your hat. Just as a bit of a
emphasis.
Yeah.
Force.
And so I noticed that.
But how's the biometrics going to change anything with him wearing a hat? It records your face.
Well, the cameras are up there and the baseball caps here.
I'm with you. Okay.
Can't go through the keep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it didn't say anything about the mask. As you know, a lot of Chinese people do wear those COVID masks and stuff, but don't have to remove them. But obviously, if I'm covering all this, well,
Okay.
just says it. And remove it. You got to scan your fingers. It'll tell you which finger, thumb, da-da-da-da. Then you do your normal process and go through to the human check and it'll do your normal things. But, the camera work along the way, you'd think you would pass 10, 20, 30. No, I would probably say I've passed 200, 300.
Wow. Somewhere
in the vicinity of 200, 300 before end to end.
And how long would that be? How many metres?
Depending on where you are in the thing called where I walked, no more than a kilometre. I could probably say 700 to 800 metres. Yeah, could be something like that. Yeah, so going from there, but if you say day-to-day in the streets and the normal, thing of the streets, they're everywhere in the streets. They're on the street poles. They're underneath verandas, on overhangs, building overhangs. They are everywhere.
Oh, look, they're everywhere here too now. We just don't notice them as much.
Yep.
True.
It's not like I see police over there going, I'm looking at you. They're not doing that. You do got to watch what you say. I have a friend over there that's lived over there for probably 18 odd years, and he constantly reminds me, because I do have a loose mouth, and
No.
you can't say that, and watch what you say here, and even texting in social groups, some platforms, watch what you say, so you can't say certain things on. So it's not like here in Australia. Okay, somebody might go, oh, I'm offended. No, over there you'll have the law on your ass. They will hunt you down. So you do got to watch what you say on social media. Some of the social media over there is banned. You can't be on it. So I'm just a foreigner. All mine still worked. Some people were saying you had to change this and change that, but all my Facebook still worked over there. Yeah, so on a day-to-day basis, no, you don't see a change if you're just a foreigner going over there doing a few weeks. You won't see it. But there is a social credit system over there, as we've all roughly been told about, but it is there, it's real. You will have to stay in the green to be compliant, to be able to catch social public transport, take loans out, things like that. It is real. It is over there.
So they'll stop you taking a loan out if you've sworn at someone too many times or said the wrong words?
Well, I don't know the degree of technicalities of that, but it is real. My friend and a few people that I know that live over there, they've told me. But yeah.
Does that apply to them too, being
Absolutely.
Foreigners working there?
Absolutely.
The social credit bullshit?
Yeah, well, they're full-time, I don't know what they're called, expats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're there full-time, but no, absolutely applies to them. Probably even more so. Yeah, even more so.
They're classed as like a permanent residence.
I may get a slap on the wrist, but for them it's, yep, take them away. And the police side of it wasn't too bad over there. I say after I visited China, I went to Bangkok. That was more corrupt-ish.
Well,
Obvious. Yeah, obvious. For a foreigner. You got the scooters. Yep. I didn't ride one, but I saw plenty of Aussies, Westerners riding them around, and they were getting pulled over left, right and centre just for them to take the hat off and put the money in. Yep. And like I was witnessing them getting pulled over, and there was a group of cops out the front of the cop shop, mind you. There's a cop shop there. They walk out the front. You pull over, and half of the cops were just giggling and laughing, like little kids, like going, basically saying, "How fucking easy is this money?" Right? Yeah, and they're going, "You show us your passport, walk away with it." They put the hand out, the hat, and say, 2,000 baht in there.
And how much is 2,000
Basically,
baht?
you're not getting this back. $10. But when you do a lot of them and they just keep collecting,
Yeah,
of course,
that's
a
right.
day. You know, and most of them were wearing helmets. It wasn't like they were doing anything wrong. They just go, "You're easy money." So there is corruption over there, but look, they probably get paid peanuts. That's not an excuse. They shouldn't be doing it, but no one's policing the police either. But that I didn't see that happening in China, only in Bangkok and Pattaya.
Yes, China, they do it digitally. They don't need people. They don't need people on the street if they're got constant surveillance and control.
If you just want to be, go there for a visit, it's no problem. You can do your pub visits. You can still do everything normal. You're just getting watched. You're getting watched. Just don't step out of line and be a little good soldier, and you will.
And is the food over there the same as like our Western version of Chinese food? Like, does it taste the same? Sometimes it's not the same when you go places.
Well, I know a guy that owns a Western bar. So
does he have Palmers?
He has Western food, your steaks and your chips and your parmas.
Okay.
Sunday roasts. So
Nice.
me and my mates we were sick of the so-called Chinese food and where to eat and rah. So we thought, we'll just go to Johnny's pub. Went there for a meal. Oh, yeah, Sunday roast, yep. So you do got to go to a Western pub if you enjoy your Western meals. Because sometimes you do get sick of the same old Chinese food.
But did their Chinese food there taste like our Chinese food here? Or do we have like a Western version of it?
The Chinese food in Australia?
Yeah, if you're comparing
Is
what
shit.
we think is Chinese food.
Is shit.
Compared
They
to
do
this.
have better food. They do have better.
Really?
At least, I mean, when we get Chinese here, it's 25% meat, you know, and the rest is just massive chunks of onion and
Onion and
capsicum.
capsicum.
Yeah.
That have, a whole onion might have been chopped 3 times, and they just chuck the thing.
And
It's
if
like,
you ask for your Chinese food, just say, I want this dish, but hold the onion and the capsicum. They look at you.
yeah. But
Like,
that's
what am
our
I
main
gonna put
sauce,
in?
a filler.
That's mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
it tastes better.
Chinese food is better over there than here. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And less onion and less capsicum.
Or it's just finely chopped up.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I have to agree because I've had genuine Vietnamese food, and that is just to die for. It really is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Compared to, you know, Asian food here.
Yeah. Whether or not we're just loving the MSG, I don't know.
And what about housing? Because that's
Housing.
supposed to be cripplingly expensive.
It is, and that's why families tend to
I mean,
live with each other.
I mean, we reckon that our housing is expensive
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You know, with rents constantly going up and, you know, all that shit.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing that over there is just
Yeah.
on another planet.
Well, most people live in high rises.
I guess they just don't have the space otherwise, would they? What's the
That's
population
right.
over there?
Oh, well, I was in Guangzhou, and I think just the area of Guangzhou was around 30 million, somewhere like that, whereas we've pretty much got that in the whole of Australia.
Yeah.
So if you talk about a standalone house, which is generally just a small, might be 2-3 stories high, but no backyard, no front yard. It's literally just on the road, and the backyard might back onto an alleyway. So you've got no dirt as such to swing a cat. You'll be paying $2 million Australian for that. Yeah.
Yeah, but...
And it's garbage. It's not nothing. No.
And how many would live in that?
Oh, they cram families in it just to all pay it off. And then, of course, if the parents had paid that off, they're older, and the young couple, married couple, get brought in, and they have kids in there, and then when they die off, that's how
It's
they
like
have to pay.
generational
Yeah, it's a generational house.
When you're talking about that sort of money, I mean, I'm visualising Australia, I'm visualising Melbourne. You pay that sort of money in Fitzroy, let's say, for a Victorian, single-fronted Victorian, tiny little shoebox shitbox, right?
Yep,
But that's because it's a spit from the CBD,
correct. Yeah,
right? So you wouldn't pay $2 million for that house here,
In this
where we
town.
live,
No.
right?
Yep.
So when you're talking those prices, are you talking about that house that you just described because it's a spit from the centre of the CBD?
Well, that's a hard one because, as far as the eye can see, it's all fucking CBD. It's just never ends.
Yeah.
So as you fly into it,
Okay.
seriously, as you guys will probably know, some of you, as you fly in, like when you see Melbourne, Australia, it's just a small little bunch of buildings. Yeah, it's like that. It's just all land, and you say, oh, where's the city? Oh, there it is. And it's just a little bunch when you're up in the aeroplane, yeah? Well, when you're going over there, as far as the eye can see, is just building after building and high rise and high rise. It just doesn't end. So there is no CBD as such.
So
it just doesn't
cities
end.
just go on to other
So
cities.
this might be called Guangzhou, and then it goes into another town, another name, but the buildings don't stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's probably a main hub, and as I understand that I've been told by a friend that lives there, the hub could be, let's say, a small, let's call it a 3-kilometre circle. The main hub could be here only because it's new and popular, and there are high rises. And then when they bulldoze some smaller ones and put higher high rises here, a lot of people will move from that 3-kilometre radius and go into this one because that's the new trendy.
Okay. Yeah.
So then
yeah.
now that's the old one. So
Yeah.
they sort of move around a little bit from, but it's just all buildings.
And how does that work with travelling around? Are they allowed to travel from suburb to suburb freely? Like, what are the rules on that?
No, we'll see. There.
Do they have suburbs?
Well,
As-
I don't know if
as
they
we
call
know them
suburbs.
here.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
But they're high rise.
well, the number plates, I would say currently, I'd probably say 75% of cars are electric.
What?
75%.
Yep. Shitloads.
Wow.
And
How the hell do they charge them?
And all motorbikes and scooters are electric. No petrol.
Wow.
Banned. It come in overnight a few years ago. So all your two-stroke, smelly fucking smoky bastard things, no. So all the pollution's gone and the noise is good, yeah? So you don't hear any buzzing around it. It's all electric scooters. So there's millions of scooters, all electric. The cars have green number plates and the petrol ones have blue. So that determines, straight away. And you also get a cheaper registration on your green one because you're green.
Yeah.
And we also got told that if your number plate starts with, let's say, 1, that's your district here. If you're 2, that's that district. You're 3, that's that one. That type of thing. And for 2 days of the week, you're allowed to cross into each other's district for only a couple of days a week. Other than that, you stay in your own district because that's your number plate is registered for that area.
It makes me think of what's the show with the districts in it? Hunger Games?
Yeah,
You talk about districts.
That's right.
Yep. So
very familiar.
So they govern you in how far you can travel with your private vehicle. Yes. Yeah. So
Wow.
Yeah, and look, it sounds very bad. I mean, I would hate that to be here, but in one way, I see it as they sort of have to do that because imagine if 30 million cars all wanted to go that way. It would totally fuck the roads, and it just wouldn't work. So there's method to the madness because they've said you there, you there, you there, you there, you there, and they've just made them there. So and if they cross, there's that many cameras, you'd have a fine up your ass and coppers and everything. So, but for a couple of days a week, you're allowed to interchange into different things, but only a couple of days a week.
Okay, but you're saying each district. So how big is a district?
I don't know. I didn't get to see all that.
Okay.
But there is invisible districts. So it's just like a postcodal area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess in a way that's kind of good if it encourages people to work close to home. I mean, most people want to work close to home, but maybe the jobs aren't available. I guess this forces people to work close to home in a way because you can only apply for positions in companies that are close. So I guess.
Well, isn't that the sort of thing that they're talking about here? The 15-minute cities or whatever?
That's right, and your smart cities, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to go anywhere. There's a GP. You got a food. You got everything. So why would you need to go anywhere else?
But there's a difference between working close to home because it works out well for you and being told you have to.
Yeah.
That's where the line in between that I think is where we have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Not with the concept of working close to home.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how the human will just get used to those rules and not want to travel. Because I spoke to some locals, and let's say I went 4 hours that way to do some sightseeing, and I'd say, I went over here. Have you ever been over there? No. I go, you live here? Yep. You've never been that way? No. And I think, wow, that's weird. That's sort of like you not driving 4 hours in any direction from here.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? But there's the density of buildings and shopping and just nightlife and everything they could ask for is right there. It's just non-stop. It's so busy. So, and I think, well, I guess so. I guess you don't need to go there because you've got everything here, but I just wanted to go there. I just wanted to go and have a look at that and all that. But they don't see it as that. They've lost the... I don't know, the drive to want to explore or do everything. It's just the way they've been brought up. So they just stay in their district. They stay in their
If
thing.
you wanted to go out of your district outside of your 2 days, do you think you'd be able to do that if you went on public transport?
Yeah,
or are
you can.
Limited?
No, you can on public transport. It's only for your personal cars.
So it's to limit the traffic rather than the
That's
movement
for the
of
traffic,
people.
yeah.
But then it effectively would do both.
But because of the concept over there is to just work. They see China. I mean, when I was saying to the mates, have a look around. Do you see them laughing? Do you see them smiling, like happy and joking and muck around? And I said, just as we're walking, let's see how many are actually laughing and joking, as you would see Australians doing it, like laughing and chatting and someone doing something stupid.
We're always taking the piss.
We're always taking the
That's the Aussie
piss
way,
and the
isn't
mickey
it?
out of something. But no, 99% of them are just straight-faced, just walk, talk, eat, work, and they're like robots. That the only smiles we ever saw out of anybody were probably little kids. The adults,
Yep.
the adults, we just didn't see them laugh, and they probably don't realise that they're not laughing, and not having that sort
Because
of
it's their normal.
and how it's become their norm, you know. And I think, wow, was that like that 100 years ago or 200 years ago, or is it slowly conditioned? You know, was all their rules and everything and the way they've been governed made them that way?
As the control maybe has changed over the years.
Is that going to happen here? How you know, you're just good little robots. Don't laugh. Don't do anything. Well, they're not allowed to have social media. That's banned unless you're good on, you know, scattering things and all that and making it work. But they don't. So they where is their laugh? Where do those come from?
That means that all their ideas and news and everything else would come from government-sanctioned media.
One source,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Do as I say. And we want you to think this way. We want you to act this way. Yeah. So they're I don't know. Do they laugh anymore?
Yeah.
But the people you were around while you were there, the people that live there that are Chinese that you spent time with, you would have seen them happy and smiling.
I've seen them at bars drinking. They might have smiled at something to their friends and that, but they generally just sit down and just talk. Whereas the Aussies, they're in the pub, having a piss up and having a joke, and it's loud. It's people are telling jokes and
Ends in a brawl.
It's loud. You can always tell. Oh, look at the Western guys over there and over there. Yeah, it's just
quiet.
crickets.
Yeah, crickets. Yeah.
But I don't know.
If it's like if they've got all the electric cars and it's so much quieter, is it creepy? Like you go outside here, you go in the city, you expect traffic noise, you expect that feeling,
it's not. No, it's not dead silence. No, there's
there's still lots of noise.
Tens of thousands of cars, and there's road noise, and there's traffic, and there's tooting, and there's people talking, and and there's buildings with advertisements and things everywhere.
Did they have any of those, like the advertisements where they look like they're coming out and reaching out at you?
Yes.
Have you seen that? They're like three. Have you seen those?
Yes, I have seen them on
Hologram
TV.
things.
Yeah.
They are
Did you see
amazing.
them?
Yep. And I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the cities here, but like some of the buildings, like obviously they're huge, but the TVs that come across one side bend 90 degrees and go the other way, and the whole thing is a TV, and they might kick a ball or do tennis, and it goes around the corner of the
yeah.
and you think, freaking hell. It's incredible stuff. No, it is an eye-opener, but it's for us, not a problem. Just
as a visitor, as a short-term visitor.
Yeah.
It's an eye-opener, but you...
Watch your P's and Q's.
But you wouldn't want to live there.
Oh, fuck no. Would I want to? No, I would not want to live there.
You'd be locked up in a day if you lived there.
Well, in our group text, they were saying...
You were nearly locked up?
Al might not make it home. But I got out of there.
But hang on. The big thing, they probably got no Vegemite.
I did not see Vegemite.
See, there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Or Pavlovas or Lamingtons or...
Yep.
Yeah.
I would...
Do they wear thongs? Flip-flops.
Yeah, they're more...
Flip-flops.
Yeah. Not really thongs. You know, those slides?
Oh, yeah. With socks?
Yes.
Yes.
They do socks.
Well, that should drop your credit score just there. That's it.
Yeah.
You're socially tarred.
Exactly.
You can't wear socks.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all right. That's an eye-opener. It really is. I've never been. Now I'm not sure where I want to go at all.
Mate, if you want to go there, you got to go there to experience, like, it's the wow in the aeroplane, looking down going, fuck, this joint just doesn't end. Buildings just non-stop. Walked a bit of the Great Wall. Yep, tick that off the list. Went to Hong Kong, same. And then, of course, I said I went to Bangkok. Bangkok was just as busy in the main hub, and then, of course, Bangkok filters out, and then towards the ocean, Pattaya, went down there. yeah, so that's not busy down there. That's more open land and single standalone houses.
Yep, yep.
Yep, still wouldn't want to live there. I don't want to go back there. No, been there, done that.
You made lots of friends.
Stick it.
Special friends.
Especially those, she-males.
They're pretty good. I love
There
you.
are plenty of nice people down there.
You'll
And
never
the-
be alone.
And there's plenty of old blokes living their youth again. Yeah.
With a 16-year-old under their arm or something.
Reliving their youth before they kick the bucket. That's about all I can say.
But there are some really pretty places around Thailand.
There's maybe a couple of nice beaches. That's it.
Some of the hills
I wouldn't
are
go there
pretty
again.
with
Yeah.
forests and greenery and
Cheap
rainforests.
booze, though.
Look, yeah, cheapish, yeah. Yeah, it's you wouldn't go there just to get smashed. No.
I might go for the shopping and the massages.
Cheaper clothes and cheap massages. Yep. Booze are just a little bit cheaper.
Plenty of knockoff
Oh,
handbags and
yeah.
stuff. And,
Oh,
genuine
yeah.
imitation.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Go there for the shopping, ladies.
Yeah.
Yep. And whatever they're advertised, halve it.
Yeah.
Halve it.
Bada, bada, bada.
Yeah. Halve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, that's an interesting insight.
Hmm.
I like it.
Hmm.
No. I mean, it's an eye opener from someone that hasn't been, and all you get is the feedback from news and propaganda and whatever it is that they
Yeah.
want you to know.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what it's like genuinely.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to step 1 foot out of line. It would be a different story, but you're quite safe if you're well within the law.
If you play the game, you're okay.
Yep.
But I guess you don't have to worry about like street thugs and people misbehaving so much then, because everybody's behaving.
That's the system. That's what they want. That's just to
crime
keep
is
everyone in
different.
line. Yeah.
So you could almost equate that with Singapore then.
Well, we went to Singapore, but that was
That's been a long time.
quite a few years ago, so we don't know
25
about
years ago.
current Singapore. I mean, I had a layover in KL, but didn't.
Because, I mean, over there, you get in deep shit just for chucking a bit of chewy on the sidewalk.
If they're very clean over there, aren't they? Isn't chewing gum illegal over there?
Oh, I'm not... Yeah, I don't know,
There
but
are
there's
some
no
places-
litter.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean,
Yep.
I heard stories of people accidentally leaving their wallet on the bench in the park or something.
and leaving it, and
And
it's still
you
there.
can leave it there for a week and it'll still be there when you get back.
Yep.
Yep.
I've heard that in Dubai. Dubai's like that.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Very safe in Dubai. Yep. Nobody will steal your phone or wallet, leave it on the park bench.
Huh.
Yeah.
Singapore was
Try doing that in Collingwood or or Broady.
or anywhere, just anywhere.
I don't even have to leave it anywhere. I'll just take it out of my fucking pocket.
They come to you.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to leave it there. They'll come to you. Yeah.
Saves you a trip.
And they're like, David Copperfield. I go, where's my wallet? And I go, what wallet?
It's right here. Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. I hope you guys liked it because I'm very interested.
You got to go there, experience it for yourself. Yep, you got to do these things, but would I go again?
Yeah. No, say what you really mean.
Yeah. Don't offend anyway.
If you like what you're seeing, give us a like and a subscribe.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.
Catch you on the next one.